It's been about 20 years since I filed an insurance claim, and here recently, the AMG got attacked by hail, and not by any hail, this type of hail. This hail you see in this picture was sitting in the grass for about 15-20 minutes before we even took this picture, and this is what hit this car. As a matter of fact, when I was driving, the windshield pretty much blew out. It was crazy. It was like in the movies, like when you see when windshields are getting like shot, that's pretty much what happened here. I was driving, all sort of, and then of course it hit the car. I tried to dive into a gas station, but everybody was already underneath the gas station. And it was like one of those movies where like if the cars underneath the gas station had eyes, they'd be looking at you like, good luck. But I don't blame him, because if I was underneath the gas station, I wouldn't have moved. So I got home and I started to assess the damage. The crazy thing is that these massive hails, like they're very different from like tons of hails, because I saw pictures in the other side of town where I live and they got tons of like hail, like, but they were like a lot smaller, but they did a lot of damage. Like one of my buddies, he has something like over 100 dents in his car. Luckily, I have somewhere between like 10 and 20, and a lot of them aren't that bad. I would say like a few of them are, but it's pretty sucky because I've never dealt with this. So dealing with this has kind of been both good and bad, because it also happened to Elise's car. So Elise's car is State Farm and this car is Hagerty, and I could already tell you that Hagerty has been top notch. Like, I wouldn't lie to you, I'm not sponsored, nothing like that. Like, let me tell you how it went down. Like, I got home and I filed the claim on the computer. I was like, hail damage, blah blah blah, and they said that they would get back to me in 1 business day, but it happened on a Friday, so I knew that Saturday and Sunday was kind of a loss, which kind of sucked. So on Monday, like, my claim got updated with an email. I got hooked up with like some adjuster lady or whatever, and then a dude came out like 2 days later, so like on Tuesday, and he was a really cool like adjuster or whatever, you assessor person. He looked at the car and he was like, yup, you need this, this, and this, and I still haven't got like a check or anything like that, but this has been a pretty fast process so far. Essentially, I should be finding out like what the assessor said, and if the insurance agrees, they'll get together and they'll write me a check, and if I'm happy, I can go ahead and get it fixed. Now, the crazy thing is that getting it fixed is not easy. I have called like 3 or 4 PDR guys here locally, and they're all busy and they're all money hungry, and like half of them are kind of shady, like totally shady. Now, the windshield was a pain in the butt. As a matter of fact, I called 4 or 5 windshield companies here locally, and nobody wanted to help me except one guy, and I'm hoping that he still wants to help me, because yeah, I haven't heard from him back today. But anyways, the windshield on this AMG is $2,300 from the dealer, and then you have to buy like this gasket kit, which is like $100 or whatever. But a lot of these people here, they don't want to fork up the money for it up front. They want me to pay for the windshield and then for the insurance company to reimburse me. I'm okay once I find out that the insurance company is going to reimburse me, so that's kind of good. But a lot of these guys have like vendors, and like OEM Mercedes glass is not part of like their vendor list, which is weird. Now, State Farm, I don't care if I'm bashing it, because it is what it is. With Elise's car, they have her like 2 or 3 weeks like from somebody doing a virtual assessment, which is super stupid, because if you think about it, you cannot catch all the angles and look at all the hail with the phone in the middle of the sun outside, because that's what they want us to do. They want to virtual assess the car by you walking around the car and being like dent, 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 dent. But yeah, real big difference between insurance companies. And I know one of my friends says that he has a local insurance company, and they're doing like a drive-through thing, kind of like in COVID where you like drive through and get stuck. But this is where you drive through and you get an assessment of how much hail damage you've had. Now, hail is no joke. Like, a lot of the quotes that we've gotten for Elise's car has been anywhere from like $3,000 to $4,000 and more. And then we found out yesterday that there was a truck that had like $19,000 worth of damage. So this car sits in the garage, but hopefully I look at the weather better. Here's the thing about the weather in summers where we live at. So when the storms come, they come out of nowhere. Your weather app doesn't tell you, nothing tells you. Like 5 minutes before, everything's like flash flood, hail, super thunderstorms, Godzilla's coming, it's crazy. You don't know about it till it happens. So that's what happened to me. But hopefully you've learned something about hail, because it really sucked.